Please subscribe. She didn't pause at all when she made her decision. She stood there in front of me, calm and completely sure, and told me she had picked someone else. There were no tears from her, no second thoughts, and no sorry that could make it hurt less. I listened without saying a word, feeling a part of me slowly close off. I didn't fight it or ask why. I already knew. I just nodded once, grabbed my jacket, and left the room without turning around. At that moment, I was sure it was finished for good. For anyone listening, this is where the real story starts, quietly, with no yelling or drama. Walking out felt like the only way to hold onto my self-respect. I thought putting space between us would make the hurt go away, close the book neatly, and finish things for good. I was wrong about that, but right then, being so certain felt like the only way to keep going. Leaving felt like power, not defeat, just a clean end. The weeks after were quiet and hard. I moved into a small apartment in a new neighborhood, with walls and daily habits that didn't remind me of her. Friends checked in gently, not sure what to say. I kept my replies short and straight. She picked another guy, and I decided to go. I stayed away from her name, the spots we used to go, and anything that could drag me back. Getting better wasn't big or exciting. It was the same things over and over, and often lonely: work, sleep, workouts, and long nights just thinking. Little by little, the ache faded. I told myself I had moved on. I thought real closure came from staying strong, not from wishing for more. For anyone listening, this part is important because true healing is usually silent. I didn't check her social media or ask friends about her. I told myself some endings don't need more details. I really thought I would never see her again. And that thought gave me a shaky kind of peace that felt real and lasting, at least for a while. 3 months later, my days had settled into a pattern I could count on. I wasn't joyful yet, but I was okay. Then one night, a number I didn't know popped up on my phone. It was her. She said she hoped I was doing all right and asked if we could talk. My first thought was to delete the message and say nothing. I had left for good reasons, but curiosity is hard to ignore. I said yes to a short meetup, telling myself it would just give me final closure, nothing else. For anyone listening, this is where the story gets tense again. When someone who walked away comes back out of nowhere, old hurts open up fast. I reminded myself I was tougher now. I thought I was ready for anything she might say. I figured time had built up my defenses. As I headed to the spot we picked, I felt steady on the outside, not knowing the talk ahead would shake everything I thought I had fixed and put behind me for good. When she showed up, she looked changed. The sureness she used to have was missing, replaced by doubt and tiredness. She said sorry before even sitting, then stopped, like she wasn't sure how to act. She told me things hadn't gone the way she planned. The other guy wasn't what she thought. She said she missed the safety and care we used to have. I listened without showing much, giving nothing away. For anyone listening, this is the big turnaround. The woman who once left is now the one looking for comfort. I didn't cut in or fix her story. I just watched. She talked about feeling sorry, being mixed up, and seeing too late what she gave up. Hearing her hurt was uncomfortable. I felt bad for her, but not ready to try again. Something deep in me had shifted. The guy she left wasn't the same one sitting there. And that truth sat quietly between us, heavier than any fight could be. Then she said something that really hit me hard. She admitted picking him wasn't about real love. It was about running away. She wanted thrills, feeling wanted, and a break from grown-up duties. That truth hurt worse than the leaving itself. It meant our time together hadn't broken. It had just been taken for granted. For anyone listening, this is where the pain turns into clearer seeing. She asked if we could try starting over. The question hung there, hard to answer. I saw how leaving had made me different. I wasn't mad anymore, but I also wasn't ready to go back. Quiet filled the air while I thought about what respecting myself now meant. I understood clearly that love without true promise just turns into something easy to drop. She waited for my reply, hopeful but scared. I got her hurt, but I also got how much I had grown. Some doors stay shut not from hate, but because opening them again would undo all the hard work it took to close them the first time. I told her the truth gently. I said I forgave her, but forgiving didn't mean going backward. I had built a life without her, learned to be okay without hoping, and found real calm. Starting again would just open hurts I had already closed. She cried quietly, nodding like she finally got it. For anyone listening, this is the real surprise. People think these stories end in getting back together or big angry no's. They don't expect a calm, final goodbye. I stood up, wished her the best, and left first this time. Walking away now felt different, chosen, not pushed. Outside, everything felt easier to breathe. I knew I wasn't escaping hurt anymore. I was guarding what I had built. Real closure didn't come from her sorry. It came from me deciding to value the person I had turned into. Leaving that meeting, I saw it plainly. Strength isn't always about sticking around. Sometimes it's about saying no to going back, even when the invite is soft. Word got around to friends fast. Some were shocked I didn't give it another shot. Others quietly respected the choice. She dealt with the results of what she did while I kept moving ahead. For anyone listening, this is where the main lesson sits. Closure doesn't come from getting answers. It comes from growing into someone who doesn't need them anymore. I didn't win some battle. I just wouldn't let myself get lost again. Life kept going smoothly. I put energy into my job, staying healthy and trusting my own choices again. Memories came up now and then, but they didn't run my days. The real shock wasn't her coming back. It was realizing I didn't need her to feel whole. I had left once in hurt. This time I left with clear eyes. That change meant everything. It showed me the price of staying too long where I wasn't fully wanted, and how leaving had protected me in ways I couldn't see at first. Looking back, she picked another man, and I walked away thinking it was over forever. I never thought she would come back. But what surprised everyone, even me, was what happened next. I chose myself, no anger, no payback, no second thoughts. For anyone listening, keep this in mind. Walking away doesn't always finish a story, but it changes you when the story tries to start again. I didn't slam the door from resentment. I closed it with calm. And that simple choice shaped everything after. I learned self-respect isn't noisy. It doesn't fight or justify. It just picks better. When she left, I lost a partner. When I said no to going back, I gained clear sight. Sometimes the strongest ending isn't making up or getting even. It's the moment you see you're not willing to take a love that only shows up after it's gone. And that understanding, more than her coming back, changed my life for good.